Hello, world. It's me again. I'd like to talk about the situation in two nations that I love dearly, the United States of America and the United Kingdom. Today, I'd like to talk about the situation that exists there and that's going on, the U.S. and U.K. riots, and what is actually causing all of the conflict that's there. What we have is a clash of cultures. The truth is, two opposing cultures cannot dwell together in peace. You cannot put two cultures together on the same piece of earth and expect them to live together in peace. It just will not happen. A nation cannot allow people of a different culture to immigrate and expect to have peace. And that is unlimited and unrestricted immigration. Unrestricted and unlimited immigration ceases to be immigration and actually becomes an invasion. And I'd like to use the United States of America as an example. In the past, immigration was controlled. Immigrants had to go to classes. They had to learn all the aspects of American culture. They were integrated into American culture. They became Americans. Although America was always a land of immigrants, America was one culture, Americans. People came from all over the world. They brought certain aspects of their culture with them, their religion and other aspects, but they adopted the American culture. We were one nation, Americans. Fast forward to the 1960s, the late 60s, there was a clash of cultures. There was an invasion. Actually, it was an invasion from within. During the late 60s, a new culture began to arrive in America. Americans of African descent started to reject American culture as a result of the civil rights struggle. Black Americans adopted a new culture, Black or African American. It was an invasion from within. A great majority of the Black population in America ceased to be American, or we'll call it traditional Americans, and became African American, two different and opposing cultures. And the truth is, no matter what nation, country, or continent, whether Gaza, the Ukraine, the US, or the UK, when two opposing cultures occupy the same piece of earth, there will be conflict between those cultures. Small-scale conflicts we call riots. Large-scale conflict we call war. Those small-scale conflicts are usually between civilians. Those are the riots. The large-scale conflicts between armed military we call war. But it's all the same thing. They are conflicts between two opposing and different cultures. One of the things that we ought to realize is that the purpose of a systematic controlled immigration system is to ensure people that are from outside of the culture of the country that they're entering are integrated into that country, that nation's culture, so that the immigrants coming to America become American. They adopt the American culture, leaving their former culture behind. With uncontrolled and unlimited immigration, people are allowed in, but they're allowed to keep the culture of the countries that they are coming from. These immigrants are actually no longer immigrants. They become invaders. It is an unarmed civilian invasion. Any invasion, whether by armed military or unarmed civilians, threatens a nation's sovereignty and its very existence as a nation. An unarmed civilian invasion is what has been happening in America at the southern border for the past few years, and what is happening, and it's been happening for a while, in the UK and in many other Western countries. Today in the UK, we have people that are coming in that are not being integrated into British culture. It was really one of the things that impressed me back in the 80s when I first went to Britain, when I went to England. I saw people of all different backgrounds. I saw Indians with the turbans and Indian ladies with the red dot in the forehead. I saw Chinese. I saw other Asians, and I saw black people. But if I went up to an Indian person and asked, "What nationality are you?" he would say, "I'm British." If I went up to a Chinese person and asked, "What are you?" that person would say, "I'm British." If I went to a black person, and I knew quite a few, and asked, "What do you consider yourself?" he would say, "I'm British, mate." My British accent. And what I'm saying is that although they were from different backgrounds and had different heritages, they were all British citizens. They had adopted the British culture. They had aspects of their former culture, their religions or whatever, but they were British. Fast forward to today, in the southern border and in much of the West and Western nations, we have people that are flooding in without the controlled, limiting effects of the system of immigration that's been put in place, and they're bringing their culture with them. In Britain, if you go to a person of Asian descent and ask, "What are you?" that person might say, "I'm Pakistani." Or if you went up to a darker skinned person and asked, "What nationality are you?" that person would probably say, "I'm Somali," or some other nationality. The point is that they're not adopting the British culture. They're keeping their own culture, bringing it with them into the country. Same thing in America. If I went to the southern border and asked an Asian person, "What nationality are you?" that person might say, "I'm Vietnamese," or some other nationality, or "I am Brazilian," or "I am Venezuelan." The point is they are bringing their culture with them. They are not adopting the culture of the nation that they're entering. And two nations cannot exist together in the same piece of land without conflict. And that's what's happening now. And what is a shame is our political leaders don't seem to realize this, and they are allowing the invasion, and that's what it is. It's an invasion to continue. And there's only one solution to that, and it's a two-step solution. And I would hope that in America and in the UK that some leader or some person gets to some leader and would give them these suggestions that I have, the solution to the problem. Solution number one is stop the invasion, close the border. Solution number two is those people that are here, the immigrants that are here, must go through the set system to integrate them into society, to integrate them into the culture of the country that they want to be in. If they want to be in the United Kingdom, they should become British or Irish. They should be integrated into the culture. They should drop that old culture. If they want to come to America, they should no longer be Venezuelan or Pakistani or any of these. They should become American. When they become American, then they become part of the culture. And when you have one culture living in the land, you're going to have peace. That is the only way you're going to have peace. And that is for that reason that there will never be peace in Gaza as long as we have those two different cultures trying to live together, and they are opposing cultures on the same piece of land. There's a solution, but it's not going to be two cultures living together. There has to be a solution found, and hopefully they will find that solution. But until then, in America, we're going to have riots as long as we have the two and or more different cultures. In the United Kingdom, there are going to be riots. All it takes is something to spark the riot, the anger that's there all along, that's going to stay there as long as we have the two cultures. There's going to be the anger, and in Gaza, as long as there are the two cultures that are opposing and the anger between the two cultures, there are going to be from time to time or riots or war. There's going to be conflict. So the problem is to eliminate the two cultures. You can be Indian or Chinese or whatever, but whatever nation you're in, that's the culture you should be. And that's the only way you're going to have peace. And I hope that somebody's learned something from this. And I hope that you've enjoyed this video and pass along this information. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. God bless. Goodbye.